Welcome back. Recently, we've talked about feedback, what good feedback looks like, and the different methods available for providing feedback in Canvas. Today, we're wrapping up our three-part series talking about feedback for assignment types that go beyond the traditional quiz and paper style, more into the creative multimedia realms. Tracy.
Thanks, Dan. For me, this is one of the really fun areas of assessment because I do a lot of project-based learning. I work with a lot of pre-service teachers, in-service teachers, as well as instructional designers. And so figuring out ways that I can use really rich projects and allow for a lot of creativity and variance in what they look like without penalizing them for differences in style, that's something. It used to be a challenge, but now it's something that I really embrace. And I do this in a couple of ways, because if you just picture in your head any school with all the different kindergarten rooms compared to like upper elementary and all the bulletin boards, you can get an idea of what I'm looking at here with a variation of what people think looks good. However, what I do is I separate those more subjective things from the more objective things, and I focus on scoring those objective items related to skills that I know they need to use and reuse again and again. So I don't talk about like the quality of whether I think something's attractive or aesthetically pleasing, but I score them using rubrics on the items that are most related to how did they accomplish the process, because that's the part that they take forward with them. And then I also have them do reflection pieces, because one of the things that I'm very interested in is how do they take feedback from myself, from their peers, their self-reflection, incorporate it into their project, make changes, and then have a better final project, because that's what you do, whether you're a designer or a teacher or a faculty member, always looking for how do I make it better as things change. And Rhonda, I know you had some really great ideas about things that do go definitely into that creativity realm.
Yeah, in terms of writing a rubric for a creative project, of course, you're going to be looking for content and the quality of the content. And of course, you're going to be looking for craftsmanship. And in terms of mastering the technique, mastering the skills. But, in terms of writing a rubric for creativity, that's a really daunting task, to try to reduce something like creativity to a rubric. And so when we talk about creativity, what we really need to do is kind of distill it down. Creativity really will involve something in terms of course, originality, finding not only just a personal voice, but a novel viewpoint. And that is something that we look for in terms of creativity and develop in terms of creativity. But another approach to creativity would be in terms of developing new connections and extrapolating on one's inspiration. So what should one be inspired by someone or something, to be able to take that and then extrapolate on that? That's a creative movement, that's a creative viewpoint. But also to be able to make new connections from disparate domains, to be able to see how in one domain you could use that process, or you could use that notion and apply it to a brand new domain. That's creativity. And that's where really original ideas come from. So being able to take creativity and to be able to look for it from various viewpoints, those are things that you can then bring down and use in a rubric. And Dan, you had a new application for creativity. Yours was interesting as well.
Yeah, thank you, Rhonda. I wanted to talk about one more approach. Now, we often work with faculty from disciplines that have a very distinctive writing style. Just as an example, you might have students coming through your courses who may or may not be majoring in that. So the writing style will be unique to this class. Those situations might benefit from kind of a mastery approach to whatever writing might be going on there. This could be a longer term individual or group project, but the key is longer term. And that gives you the opportunity for a more iterative approach. They might submit a draft or two along the way, providing you the opportunity to give feedback, send it back to the student, and allow them to improve. Those kind of assignments can also benefit from templates or even samples of previous successful assignments. Now be sure to check out the description for our Jamboard in case you want to suggest a future tech tip. We'd love to hear from you. And our other resources are linked there as always. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, everyone.